thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Of course. So we've seen a lot of changes and a lot of talk about Twitter since Elon Musk took over. What is the latest?
Well, it seems to change by the hour. When I checked last night, there were rumors that he wasn't ruling out bankruptcy. They were talking about how many staff were still getting laid off. And strangely enough, on Twitter, I saw yesterday that not only was the communications team laid off, which is a PR disaster, but also a lot of the people that work in cybersecurity also lost their jobs. Again, these aren't fully substantiated. I am seeing these from credible sources, but it is interesting to see how this is kind of becoming I guess you could call it a case study in what not to do after acquiring a business, at least from everything that I've been reading in the news.
Do you think, based on what you have seen, because as you mentioned, it changes by the hour, maybe at this point by the minute, that Elon Musk was ready to take over Twitter and had some ideas of what he wanted to do?
Well, that is the million-dollar question. He did try to pull out, and then there were some legal dealings, which eventually led with him seemingly reluctantly taking over, and then it seems like he was really into it again and had all these ideas. And then there was a controversy, or I guess you would call it more of a snafu, with the whole verification piece and being able to verify yourself for $8 a month. So it's hard to tell if he really has a vision. I do believe he does, but I also think he's getting a lot of intel from different directions, people that he might trust, people that he might not trust. So it's really difficult to know what's actually going to happen as a permanent move over at Twitter.
And let's talk about the verification, because we know that initially they said, okay, you pay $8, you get that cool blue check mark. But now you're seeing all of these different people buy these, they buy the blue mark there, and then they post as a company or as Elon Musk. That's a situation that's likely going to continue, right?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting dynamic, because you could tell that when he announced the $8 verification, that there were a lot of other things to figure out, especially the whole credible news and not credible news. You know, Twitter has been dealing with the elements of fake news and false information for years. And at first, when I first saw it, I looked at that as just perpetuating that even more. I understand what his larger goal is and what the vision is in trying to make everything kind of equitable for all the different users. But at the same time, people still use Twitter for news. So it is kind of a challenge, when you look at it that way, because I know just in the last couple of days, I've seen all sorts of unsubstantiated rumors coming out, specifically in sports that I'm following, and it's causing a lot of strife and just a lot of confusion. And so I do think confusion is the word that we'll be hearing a lot over the coming months, especially as it pertains to what Elon Musk is going to be doing and what he might do and then pull back on within a couple of days.
And something that's interesting, talking about those rumors and unsubstantiated claims, I did see a post yesterday that said that even though they are going to allow just about everyone to be verified, that journalists are not going to be allowed to get that blue check mark. Again, that's unsubstantiated, but it was interesting to hear because so many people were posting about it. That's just one of those, I guess, rumors that's going around now. My big question, though, is what would bankruptcy mean for Twitter? Would it go away, or what would happen?
So in terms of the legal side, I can't really speak to that. That's not my background, but I can say from a marketing side, I don't know. It's going to take a lot for Twitter to really go away. The way that I'm looking at it is there are a lot of major movements that are starting to migrate off of the platform. There are a lot of celebrities that have started to leave the platform as well. But the thing that is keeping Twitter around right now, which again, this could be completely irrelevant in a week, is that there is no equivalent elsewhere. For example, if Instagram were to go away, all of the elements of Instagram can be refilled by TikTok, by Facebook, and even Twitter to an extent. On the other hand, there is no equal element to Twitter out there. Now, that's not to say it won't happen. I firmly believe Facebook or one of the other major players in social media will step in and provide something similar to Twitter that users will be able to move over to. But right now, there really is no equivalent. So until that happens, I don't think bankruptcy is really going to mean much unless Twitter, the company itself, takes more drastic action.
And I'm not sure if you can speak to this because I know obviously you're the expert, so I'm going to make sure to ask you. But is it possible that Musk could actually lose Twitter at some point and no longer be in charge? Could the government or any sort of agency take it away from him?
I can't say I can speak to it, but I do know from the stuff I do know about Twitter, it's going to take a lot for that to happen. There's going to need to be some sort of legal issue that pops up that would cause some sort of agency or some department to step in. I'm not sure what that would be. While Musk is certainly controversial and very polarizing, I'm not sure he would do something that would cause that level of change. Now, the verification thing does perpetuate the opportunity of fake news a lot more than before. So there could be something there, but I think it's going to take an action from some sort of private firm or something really crazy happening, some sort of a cyber attack or something, since the cybersecurity team was laid off, allegedly, to really lead to that kind of terminal move.
Do you think Musk is doing any of this just to raise publicity so people are thinking about Twitter again? I know it's not really the main social media platform. The ones that you hear mostly about are going to be Meta and TikTok, Instagram. Do you think he's trying to get Twitter back in the news? Is it possible that that's what he's doing?
Well, it's funny that you say that. So a stat for you from about a year ago is that 99% of Twitter users also maintain another social media account, and only 5% of Twitter users consider Twitter their number one social media account. So that's definitely possible. I'm not sure what the end game is, and this would be quite an exercise in a long-term conspiracy that we'd be talking about for years if that's the case. But having said that, it's certainly not outside of the realm of possibility. Twitter, last I saw, had just south of 200 million daily active users, which I think puts it fifth or sixth in terms of social networks. And so I definitely see the point of that. The only issue is that when, in terms of news, Twitter is the place where people usually go for that. So I'm not sure how that would materialize, but I could certainly see that happening.
Well, Nick Mitar, thank you so much for joining us. Anything else that you want to add before we let you go?
No, I mean, I'm a big Twitter user. I really hope it's still around for the long haul, but we will see. It's been a very, very interesting last couple of weeks.
For sure. And it is my main source of news, and it really is where I post the most. So I'll be watching it very closely as well. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.